Hi, and welcome to the fifth 6 weeks. We're going to look at Unit 9, where we make connections across texts. Our first bundle has us making connections across literary texts. And the beautiful thing about this is that you can choose passages that focus on areas of weakness for your students. So if your children didn't do well at poetry, you can pick poetry. If your students didn't do well at fiction, pick a good fiction piece. Look for things that will hit the standards you need to hit, as well as being able to pair across the genre. Choose passages that model any good writing techniques that could cross over to their persuasive essays. No, they don't want to write any kind of literary essay, but there are writing techniques that transcend genre. Choose passages that have strong connections. Those are typically thematic when it comes to literary text, but it could be characters connected across with a speaker in a poem, or any of those kinds of things. Use release star stems to create questions to use in both formative and summative assessment settings. As you're choosing passages for all genres, when you add in the informational and persuasive texts, you want to look for the same things you would have looked for in those literary texts from the first bundles. The connections typically are built around author's techniques, theme, and purpose, so they're still going to the big idea is what they're really connecting in those passages, and the students seem to score fairly well on those. Focus heavily on mentors from expository and persuasive genre that can easily help students with their own essays. Things to consider are structures. Are students setting it up in a format that shows that they're going to have an intro with a hook and a position statement, and then moving into reasons with strong evidence and supports? Are they using evidence? Or do they have a strong position statement? Do they have a call to action in the conclusion? Do they need to? Are they strong in all those things? And we can work on adding in counter arguments. The recommended resources on your IFD, you're going to notice, is a lot better. We've put in subheads and divided it out, as well as we've had our cadre members working on creating a lot more resources. So the resources look like this, and now you can see the different categories, and there's usually 4 or 5. So take a good look at those, and you can see they're easily linked, so you can go find those documents. There are also extensive interventions, and this 6 weeks is a good 6 weeks as we gear up for EOC to go back and hit some of those things that our students are really not understanding. Perhaps you taught it the first time and the scores did not go well. Then you taught it with a paired text and the scores still didn't get better for some students. These are interventions you can use to help them try to master those concepts. Thank you for your time and have a wonderful 6 weeks.